Drop freaking gears. Sorry. Hi, welcome to Drop Gears. Hi, I'm Import. I'm a head admin at Evo, doing the podcastings with the crew, Shorty and Lime. Shorty, how are you, my guy?
Maybe I shouldn't say this, but a shorty guy maybe a little bit under the weather today, so maybe I'm not gonna say that much. I mean, but we have a guest, so that's not the biggest issue, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's German things, right? So happens. My fault. I have to go get through this, and I'm still looking forward to the podcast, obviously, because that's my highlight of the week, kind of. So yeah, let's see how we yeah, I'm interested. Man. Yeah, how are you today, Lime?
I'm actually tired because we changed the schedule, so I don't wake up at 5, 6 in the afternoon. But other than that, I'm happy. Good things are coming, and everything's good. Besides me not sleeping on my usual schedule.
Yeah. Also, wait, isn't Gecko supposed to like say hello? Gecko? Hello?
Yeah. Let me call him. Gecko, come and say hello.
He wanted to say hello, and now he's not here.
He
Really
wanted to
bad.
say hello.
You wanted to.
Okay.
All right.
He's...
There he is.
Hey.
Hey.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Yo,
All right.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah. Now get out. It's our show.
No, get out.
All right. So, anyways, also before we introduce our special guest for today, the people on Spotify, hi, how are you? Are not able to see him right now, but we do have a special guest today, along with obviously me, Shorty, and Lime, your normal hosts for the podcast. Again, special guest is going to be Forever, and he is from ITB Into the Breach Esports. That name, anyways. I might get canceled by Forever before the end of this podcast. He's been saying that he's afraid of he said he's afraid about getting canceled, but I probably will get canceled before him. So hi for
yeah. The mustache at the first episode was already enough.
Fair.
I can't stop that. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, how are you, my guy? How's it going?
I'm doing fine. I'm really busy, but I'm happy that I could find time for this. I'm in general. I got school final exams, and I'm just happy to slot the appearance here today.
Yeah, and I mean, technically, you were going to be the first guest on the podcast, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get you. So we had to settle for Spammy. Like, ugh.
He was our second option, man.
Happens.
So, but I'm happy that you were able to. I'm happy you were able to get on and talk and everything. And I think you have a lot of cool things that you can kind of give your perspective on without trying to get yourself canceled during this episode. That people might be interested to hear and maybe get to know a little bit more about you and everything. Because I really think everybody kind of knows the name Forever, but not necessarily who is the person behind the name. So that'll be maybe something we'll touch on more. Anyways, anybody have anything before we get started? No.
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
why?
Why?
Or do we want to start with drama already, or what?
No, we do drama after. We have drama today. I already dumped it in the chat if anybody paid attention. All right, so we did have the Middle Eastern Africa regional. We're not going to go through this too much. F10 won again. Good job to Birdie and his teammate. That sounds terrible because I don't know his teammate's name, but there we go. Chemko, thank you. Yeah, good job to them. F10, honestly, expected. We will probably see them in All-Stars and the World Cup. Anyways, moving on with life. Also, NA Regionals was happening. Damascus Gaming won again. Final Form finishing in 4th, 100% Canadians in second. I did this out of order. First was Damascus Gaming. Second was 100% Canadians. Tied for third was Air White in Final Form. And then you had Halsandary, Air 300, yep, Team Air Green. Yes, I didn't mention the teams from the Middle East Africa region, but honestly, it's just the F10 show. So really, as much as the other teams were there, they weren't performance-wise there. Anyways, so yep, that is your
Controversial.
yeah. But Damascus Gaming winning again, so obviously we'll probably see them also in the same position as F10 because it just makes sense. And 100% Canadians, French players. Anyways, that's all we have to say about them.
I mean, I'm really happy that the mascot won and not the 100% Canadians.
Same. Yeah. I'm happy for an NA team to be recognized in that regard. Do I think they're going to do well in All-Stars? We'll have to see, but I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
For fun region. Anyways, let's move on. We already go into ITB?
Wow.
Wow.
We start off with.
I was like, hold on, Team CL, hello? There we go. I was
We'll
like,
skip,
whoa,
we'll
whoa,
skip.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
We go back.
So, Team CL, Team GL, we talk about every week. Let's go through it really quickly. The standings, it is, wow, it's actually really tied still. That's kind of crazy. First through fourth is tied at 2-1. Alternate attacks. I got messaged by Payne to pronounce this team correctly this time. It is Omniotsun. That is how they pronounce their name. The H is silent. So Omniotsun, Sprout, and Orcs GP Numalops. They are your top four, all tied
That's
2-1.
not Korean. Homnion. Oh,
Omnio.
we lost Forever guy.
Omnio. Oh, Forever died.
Onion? Onyo? Huh?
Oh, he's back.
Homnion. Omnino.
Omnio. Do you know what? Let me pull this up again.
It does sound a little bit Korean, true, yeah.
It's
Where's
Omino-tsun.
Yeah, it's Ominosun.
Ominotsun.
Yeah.
Ominosun.
Yeah.
Like tsunami at the end.
Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Undere.
he's back. Forever is back, by the way.
Yes. Welcome back, Forever.
I can't see who's speaking right now because the Discord is bugged, but whatever.
It's okay. And then the bottom four is Schweine and BS Plus, Easy Dream, and Exalti. I'm just gonna say it right here and now. This is the only thing I have against this. Out of like all this teams is the fact that BS Plus gets to get catered to very heavily, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that teams kind of have to cater to BS Plus's schedule. They literally had a game at 10:30 at night, and then now they had their game yesterday.
Yesterday.
The second schedule
yesterday-
change was
no,
because of Sprout.
What?
Yes, because of
Oh,
Dexter.
that was because of Sprout?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yes.
Dexter is
I'm
undergoing
flaming
surgery.
them for no reason.
Yeah.
And Snow's in here. Snow, I'm sorry. I love you. Anyways, oh wait. not the same Snow. Okay, easy.
Close
All right.
This happens.
I'm trying to get I told you this is my speed run to get canceled.
Yeah, bro. Imagine calling someone French on a podcast.
True.
Oh, that is insulting.
And fair.
You're here to
You
make
can
fun.
we can go worse.
Yeah,
you
we
can
can
call them
go
baguettes
worse,
instead.
no
Like that would be worse.
I mean, yeah, we could just go for the obvious stereotypes like wee baguette and stuff, but trying to be nice. Yeah. Anyways,
maybe I created a Discord bot once that anytime someone wrote something in French, it would react to.
it's evil, but I like it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Vertical
just-
split.
I got a little bit annoyed on the Trackmania, just like on the main Trackmania Discord, that the only kinds of people that were not talking English were always French people. Like the only kind of the only ones that joined the English only server, which has rules stating that as well. Literally, it's always French. It was always French. Like once a week or like twice a week, you had some guy going in, put a bag out, and I mean, it never happened with German. At least I never saw that. It never happened with like Italian or I don't know. It only happened with. I mean, it makes sense because most people are French, of course. But so I did that out of spite. But
Well, usually if you ask
only
people,
private.
usually
Only
if you
private.
ask people when they speak a different language, if you ask them to translate, they'll do it. But French people,
Yeah.
French
I mean,
people, or Spanish people even, they won't translate. They'll just
Come
be
on.
like,
I mean,
yeah.
most of them just.
Lime,
did it
you know
because
it's
they
true.
can't speak.
Don't deny it.
I mean, most of them probably just did it because they're very
At
young and
least-
obviously they're not good at English. So I can understand that. Like, nothing
I
against
can
that.
say that at least Chilean and South American people, we do really try.
That's fair. My
But
experiences with Mexico
Spaniards
and
from Spain, no. French Spaniards are like always running against the
they're vibing with their own language. I get
yeah,
it.
they're just vibing and they just trying to put you on what they're doing and you have to follow them. They don't follow you. Weird people. Okay, continue.
Import is an immigrant. He cannot be racist. All right. Anyways,
Maybe I'm not getting cancelled.
I'm getting
Just a
canceled
podcast.
today. I'm feeling it. So let's go into TMGL, and before we even go into the score, I can't help but mention it. It's already being talked about, but Elcon bro looks so tiny compared
Yeah.
to mine.
I guess it's just
The
about
baby.
Let him
mine
cook,
being
bro.
big. But I guess I mean Alcon is not that short. It's just that
He's-
mine
I
looks
remember.
humongous in this pic.
Yeah,
Mine
like
is 183.
let him cook, bro. He
6'0".
he's got some growing up to do, I guess. No. Yeah, it's funny how they just like they proportion this so weirdly. Yeah. Anyways, so ITB won. Yay! You guys beat Big. You put
Finally.
Big. You put Big further in the mud. Since you are here and you are the ITB coach and team manager, kind of give us a rundown of kind of what was going through preparation and just kind of how the match went overall.
Okay, yeah.
Is the bet out?
In short, I just wanted to say that 4-3, while it is a win, it's not a score we're certainly happy with. Especially as we played scrims versus Big before, and we know what we're capable of. Definitely a positive surprise in this match, winning freestyle. Elcon, really good performance on that map. But then some small chokes along the way, especially slowdown, where we just lacked consistency, made us go to game 7. And yeah, it's not a scenario that anyone is happy with, especially game 7 on reps, when on reps we are proven to lose important games versus BDS, for example. We lost reps 10-9 after literally being better on paper and on pace. We just kept choking. So I think this is a big relief that we finally close a game out on reps. And if we would lose this game, the mud would be calling. So I'm really happy that we got this one.
We all were cheering for you. I mean, for you. For
You guys are the fan
ITV.
favorite.
Yeah.
Like it's you and Big. Like let's just be honest. Like international wise, it's you guys and Big that are like the fan favorites. So
It was actually a really hard game to watch and to root for someone because as a fan, it's just you don't want any to lose. You know, it's an important match. It was an important match, and anyone would have won. Everyone would have been happy. And it's hard to see the other favorite team, to lose. It's I don't know. It's a bittersweet,
yeah.
At least it was a close game, so that's nice.
Yeah, it was a close game.
And there was a
really
lot on the
close.
line too, because I mean, obviously,
No.
your standings. You guys are at the. Unfortunate for you guys, but you guys are at the bottom end of the standings. So any win is like really important. Like for Sinners especially, and we talked about it right before the podcast. But like Sinners, which we'll get into their loss, but they really had to win their last game last week, and they didn't. They got stomped really badly, and
it was
their
so
their
free.
playoff dreams are stomped with it. And yeah, so as a caster, I'm in the mud. If I wasn't in the mud already before, which I was. All right, yeah, next game. Hey, look, speaking of mud, yeah, G1 beat Sinners, and honestly, okay, despite the fact that from the Sinner side, it was a disaster, G1 slapped world record times live during this match, and it was a really good match from G1 side. They just did really well, and I was talking with Spammy last week, and maybe Forever you can give your input on it as well. G1 seems to be a team that is going to has the huge potential to be at the top.
Yeah, definitely. I already think they're the top one team in the league right now if they keep performing like this. Of course, there were some smaller, worse, let's say, matches. Like, for example, versus Alliance, they really trolled that one. But we can all agree that right now G1 looks the fastest. The question is, can they back it up with consistency in the playoffs? Because right now they still have to face Solari, so they will place either second or third, and that changes a lot because second seed goes into upper bracket, and the third seed has to make a lower bracket run. So it's a very important last two matches for them, especially a match versus Solari. And we will see. If they get seed 2, I think they're my favorite to win it all, at least.
Yeah, we will see how they do. Shorty, did you watch it all or no?
I watched a little bit, yeah, but I didn't watch G1 against Sinners.
Sag.
I mean, I think the result is pretty much expected, but I mean, driving world record times is obviously insane. But if someone is gonna do that, it's gonna be like someone like Gwen, of course, right? Or like it's not unexpected to some degree. It's just like when Gwen wants, like when he wants it, and when he's like fully trained, then he is obviously a monster. I'm sure he probably still struggles a bit with the consistency side of things. That makes total sense. But if you can, kind of find his consistency in during the league, I mean that's also one big plus side, right? Like now you have like a lot of practice, of course, with the new system and everything before the playoffs really start. So calling them favorites, I mean they are definitely up there. Like they have a chance to win. I totally agree with that.
You know what my favorite is though? The G1 cast and our
No.
weekly update about the G1 cast.
No, please, no.
Our favorite cast, the G1 cast. Yes, they did cast. And thank you, Yakazdo, in our chat for giving us an update. Actually, I didn't pay attention to it, but I was also wondering. I was like, did they cast this week? And they did. And the caster, who we all know and love, Odablock, clearly just like the G that brings it home and brings us entertainment on a weekly basis, totally related to Trackmania. No. He wanted to he wanted the match to be over quickly so we could play RuneScape, and that was that's the update.
To say something good about the G1 cast, when I went into the stream, there were a glimpse of interest in what was happening in Trackmania. Actually, he was like, I don't know if it was this weekend or it was the last one, but he was like, "Oh, if we won this one, oh, we're gonna be first, and they have to win first, and he was actually explaining the chat."
5
What
minutes.
happened? What
5
needed to
minutes.
happen in order to 5 minutes? But he was explaining, and then I closed it because I just couldn't. I just couldn't bear to listen to him talking so much nonsense and being like, "Yeah, be ready. Hopefully this go really fast, and then we play RuneScape or something."
RuneScape, gross. Let's go to the next game. BDS beats Alliance 4-1. Is this expected really quickly? Yes or no? I don't think we need to get into this. I'd say yes.
Pretty much expected.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Am I the
Yeah.
only one that thinks that it didn't?
They
But okay,
are
let's go.
undefeated right now in the league. So
Yeah, but it's still Muda and Soldia. They are
Soldier's
a
kind of in the
strong
mud.
team.
I'm just gonna be
But,
honest.
I mean,
So-
one thing that I saw on this last match is that he, because Spammy did the interview before the match started, and Soldier said like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try some different strat and stuff," and I actually I saw him doing that,
I
So
don't think
I was
Soldier's
like,
bad, but I just think overall he lacks in pace compared to the others.
Oh yeah, that is one thing for sure.
And when you're at the top of the leaderboard, it's not about, I mean, yes, it's about consistency, but really is about who has the fastest pace and are they going to be consistent. And if
Yes.
both of those are yes, then Alliance is not in that picture.
Yeah. I would just like to add, despite the score being 4-1, this was a much closer match than all you might expect.
Yeah.
Reps went 10-7 to BDS. Parkour was triple overtime, and Alliance got it. Then Slippy Slides was 10-8. Freestyle was 10-7. And Agility Dash was 13-10. So it's never more than 3 points of a difference. It was a very close game. But in the end, the duo of Afi and Rel, Afi, who is driving an insane season, and I think he is right now the league MVP. Of course, this still can change in the last 2 days, but right now he's driving out of his mind. And Aurel, who's supporting him really well. They're just the best duo. They went out prepared from the get-go, and now they're first in the league just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think Soldier's bad. I just think pace-wise, if everybody's checking their boxes, Soldier compared to the rest of the top of the field just does not have the pace. He can have the consistency, but if he does, it's the same thing with Sinners. Sinners has the consistency, but their pace is like garbage.
They're really slow.
They're so slow. Like
Yeah.
watching Tween take the wrong line, like at week 5 is it now? Is just like, what are you doing in practice, my guy? Like he takes like a consistently wrong line, and he doesn't have the optimization of like a lot of tracks, and kind of even for Kappa too. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like if you can be consistent all day, but if you don't have the pace, you're not going to do well. It's just how it be. Yeah. Anyways, next map.
I think
Match.
I give
go ahead.
Soldier to be saying. I mean, I think one problem for Soldier is that right now he's aware of being the kind of like
he is.
he's aware of the role that he is supporting, that he has to support Mother, which kind of forces you to be like, yeah, I know I have to be like, he knows he needs to be super consistent, and probably I don't think, because Soldier wasn't really, it's not like that Soldier was pace-wise slow. Like, obviously he's now in Team Jail because he is crazy fast. I think maybe he's just, because of this, like, because of the fact that he has to be the safe guy, and he literally can't afford the mistakes because he has to be there when he basically has to be there every round for them to have a chance, because Mada is kind of the guy that Mada needs to be first. So he has to push, and Mada sometimes makes mistakes because of it, obviously, because he's going for first. But because Soldier is not even Soldier isn't even going for first, which is automatically meaning that if you're so hyper focused on driving safe, you're not gonna drive fast. Like, there's no chance. I think if he would be able to like just drive on his own and not have this focus on it, I think he would definitely play
There were a
faster.
few rounds that he was actually playing more of a risky type of player and not standing as the second supporting player in the team. And those runs were actually good, but yeah, I believe that maybe now it's too late to pull out that card. Maybe not, but I would like to see him playing on his own pace and not being so much of a supporting the supporting player in the team. Like being freely. Either way, let's go to Solarian coming cope.
Yeah. Solari 1. Is this expected? Yes or no?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Though Carmine Corp, I might have to say they're much better this season than I expected them to be. Especially Bren, I felt like with the recent ZRT and World Cup results, I felt like he was slightly losing on pace, but this season he's proving that he has still got it. And Otak is also performing really nicely. I think that KC are one of the more underestimated teams in like the, let's say, the English community of TM, English speaking community, because in the French scene obviously they're very hype, but I really think they are ones to watch in those playoffs, and I think they probably will be top 4 in the playoffs.
That's an interesting prediction. I mean, I see it. I can see it happening. It just kind of depends on whether certain teams kind of wake up or not in the playoffs. Because playoffs always kind of brings a different atmosphere. So
Yeah, playoffs are actually really unexpected. like what's gonna happen. You can see a team completely in the mat for the whole season, and then in playoff they're like, okay, we have to give it everything now, and they actually start performing out of the blue, and you're like, oh, they are actually good, you know. And there are some teams that they stay there in their confidence, and they don't step up, and they get eaten by the other teams. So it's gonna be interesting to see the playoff.
Yeah. All right. Well, is that the last match? I think so.
That
Yes.
was the
be.
last match, yeah.
Let's go. Oh yeah, standings. Yeah, BDS is still undefeated 5-0. Man, we talked about this forever. I assume you would agree as well. TMGL just needs more matches overall because
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous. At least do a double round robin, and at minimum that would be acceptable compared to this single round robin.
Yeah, the main issue I see with the current format is that you're practicing for a week just to play for an hour.
Yep.
Yes.
Also, the issue is that there's no rematches. One match goes badly and you're in the mud.
Well, to be fair, that's been League of Legends for how many years, and even then,
League of Legends is not a good example.
yeah.
I would say that especially with how short the matches are, that we play best of one. In League they play best of 3, and our matches best of 7s are the length of their best of 1s. We should definitely play twice a week, no
Yep.
matter if we play the same opponent twice in a row or we play someone else. I think that the league is capable, and especially what I would like to see is an expansion in which this was discussed on Masa's stream yesterday. There was Kalbren and a few other people. I would like to see the league getting to the point where we are comfortable playing during the weekdays as well.
Yeah.
Because right now there's a literally 7 days break between the matches, and it's really hard to have any retention on the viewership. I feel like the next logical step for the league to grow is to have matches midweek as well, possibly making the season shorter because you play every 3 days, not every 7 days. But then we can add a rematch, and it's going to be the same season length and more content to watch for others.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree
Yep.
with that. I think that's because it's not like the viewership is gonna like die if it's not on the weekends. Like,
Exactly.
in fact, most Trackmania players often are more active during the week than on the weekends. So, like
So
that's a like it's true. Like if you try to schedule any tournament on like a Saturday Sunday, oftentimes it's like pulling teeth to get people to show up because they're like, I got things I want to do with my family on the weekend, which is fine. It's perfectly understandable. But yeah, if it's just like to watch a stream on the weekend, it's not necessarily the most enticing thing unless you're not doing anything on the weekend. So yeah, I agree, and we've harped on it 1,000 times. Harp on it again. Put it on a main Trackmania stream, and then
I
your
think-
viewership numbers would go to the moon.
I think the next step of making the league longer, I mean, on more days and stuff, is when the players are completely sustainable by the league itself. Because otherwise, if you have to work, you cannot play in the week. If you have to study, you cannot play in the week.
You
know,
can.
you have
It's gonna be on the evening most likely.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice that you need to be willing to take. I'm not.
If you're
it's not
pro,
fun,
it should be.
but
like
you
I'm
know,
not that.
like with things going, like this is the first. Like Trackmania is still growing and the league is still growing. If you're not willing to make that sacrifice now, where the chances of this becoming an actual job, then when then, like when else would you do that?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're going to take this seriously and you want to be a pro and you want to have the title of a pro, you need to act like a pro, and that means focusing on what you're here for, which is to play professional Trackmania.
Yeah. There's
And
one more issue though.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting. As Simon pointed out, this was also discussed on Masa's stream. Time zones are a really big factor. If they have to play during weekdays, yeah, good luck to, for example, someone from Australia like Mada, even though Mada I don't think he has a job right now. But imagine someone having to play at 5 a.m. and then going to work at 8 a.m. That's not really fun.
But gladly, most players right now are still EU based, and
Correct.
I mean, you have to do that. I mean, you can't technically. You could also schedule matches different time, but
you can't work your primary league, your primary professional league around a globe like that. You have to settle on one time zone, and like if you are going to be a pro player and you want to be in a professional league like TMGL, you have to understand that you're like if the matches were during the week, the pro players, the player who is wanting to be in pro is going to have to understand that they're going to have to also make that sacrifice. Is it fair to them? No, not necessarily, but it's something that they would have to do. If we're wanting to move if we're wanting to be serious about Trackmania, if we're wanting to be serious about Trackmania becoming an actual esport, then those changes have to be made at some point, because there is never going to be a ecosystem or just a system in general that is going to be fair to every single participant.
Yeah, that
team.
is true. Even though the first step to Trackmania being an actual esport is actually Nadeo taking Trackmania as an esport, because this is not even a stream on the main channel. It's I've been saying this. I truly don't see Nadeo taking the weight of having a esport league as it is. You know, it's like a side hobby that they have there, and if it explodes, that's really good. But if it's not, well, we have something for the people, and be happy with what we have, basically.
I think
I might be grown. I hope I'm grown.
I think the main issue with TM not being on the Trackmania cast is on the Trackmania channel is not that Nadio wants quick viewership. As far as I can see, and this is just my theory, I have no info to back it up. You need to account into the fact that Virtual has outgrown Trackmania.
Yeah,
People
that
are
is true.
not watching Virtual because of Trackmania, they're watching him because he's Virtual. His viewership usually doesn't overlap with other TM streamers, except for maybe a bit with Scrappy. And you need to remember that obviously a person like Virtual, who brings a ton of viewership, might cost a lot when it comes to just having him as a caster. And if he were to stream on the Trackmania channel, he wouldn't have the sub revenue, the ad revenue, and it would be probably much more expensive for Nadio to have him on the Trackmania channel, which would probably cost prize pools. And right now, prize pools, as you know, they're a bit better. They're still far away from tier 1 esports. And if we were to sacrifice this small brand growth for, let's say, like 5-10k of prize pools, I don't think it's a worthy trade-off. I cannot speak for Nadio. This is just how I see it. This is an argument I don't see I don't see being mentioned a lot. So just thought I would bring that out.
No, it's something that I also have thought about, but at the same time, as an organization, I cannot see myself. This is a personal opinion. I cannot see myself putting all my viewership and all my growth into an influencer. You know, it's just not. You have to do an investment. Right now, you have to look at it into the future, and you can just say, "Oh yeah, we don't have money to pay the big guy in our game." But you also have other people that are doing casting, that they are good, that they will attract more people that are not just the influencer viewership. You know, you can attract other people that actually want to play the game. I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, I agree. I agree. I see all points, and I mean, I think we all just know that certain things have to be changed in order for it to be a thing. If we want to move
we
down the
can
road.
wait. I mean,
it doesn't. Rome was not built in a day, and Trackmania definitely will never be.
Going at the moment.
But
well,
anyways,
Nadio is quite busy, to be fair.
Fair, yes. With what kind of projects?
2v2
don't know.
matchmaking.
Yeah. By the way, it's past
Yeah.
early February, and Pepperidge Farm remembers that matchmaking was promised. Anyways, yeah. So to finish up this TMGL segment, like we said, BDS 5-0. Solari is 4-1 in second. Third is Gamers First, tied with Carmine Corp for 3-2. Tied for fifth is Into the Breach with Alliance. And then in the mud at the moment is Big and Sinners. Sinners is mathematically eliminated from playoffs at this point. There's just literally...
Not yet. They have 8%. They would have to win 4-0, and then still other teams would have to align with the matches. So
And we
it
know
would
that isn't going to happen.
Yeah, Big, Alliance, and us losing
Imagine
twice.
if happens.
Imagining is cute, but this is unimaginable. So yeah, that's gonna be it for that. All right, let's move on with TMCL's schedule for next week. It is gonna be Sprout versus BS Plus starting at 10 p.m. on the 15th. That match was played already last night. Yep, I just now remembered that.
4-1 to Sprout, correct? I didn't really watch the whole game.
I think
I hopped in
Sprout
the
won,
middle.
yeah.
If I have to say anything about that game, holy smokes, were Sprout impressive in that match. Except for losing their first pick, their agility was TMGL level. Agility dash, of course, I mean. I'm shortening the names. I watched their agility dash. They were on pace with half of TMGL teams. Which really goes to show how many people underestimate Scrappy and Dexter, who are literally legends at this point of the TM Pro community. And I think that if Scrappy cares enough, and if he keeps his motivation as well, and he doesn't take his, let's say,
he doesn't
toxic mentality into it, I think his place is back in TMGL.
Yep, I would agree. They did really good, and it looked
Now
like
you agree, but I remember someone that doubted Sprout at the
I
beginning.
did, but
I
like
remember.
I watched the game. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched the game and I was like, this is the time that Sprout needs to wake up, and they did. So I mean, I agree with what Forever has to say.
What we said on the podcast all the time is that they show the level, but if they are really compromised into playing it, they're gonna show their level, you know.
Yep.
If not, if they taking it as whatever and we're just doing this for fun, they're just gonna play like it's cup of the day basically. But they have shown a level, they have shown compromise, they have shown responsibility and passion for the game, and it's showing.
Yep. All right, so Exalti Schweine Aim is going to start off TMGL on Saturday. That is going to be at 6 p.m. Central European Time. The next is Easy Dream versus Omino Son at 7 p.m. Central European Time. Bro, I'm going to get it one day. And then Alternate Attacks versus Orcs Numalops GP Numalops Orcs, whatever. One of those three in that order is going to be the match of the week, which is actually a very exciting match. I am excited to watch that. All right. And then for TMGL, really bad, is going to be starting off with Sinners versus Alliance. I can already kind of predict how that's going to go, but that's going to start off at 5 p.m. Central European Time. And if you want to watch the cast, you can watch it on G Geek Stream this week with me, as we are going to be casting that match on G Geek Stream. So you should watch that, because that cast is going to be better than the main one. Anyways, Solari versus ITB is going to be at 6 p.m. Central European Time. Then G1 versus Big at 7 p.m. And then the match of the week is going to be BDS versus Carmine Corp. The French versus French match of the week. That should be a pretty good one. It should be. I'm interested to see if Casey is able to take off a couple games from BDS, or maybe even sneak in a win. I don't think so, but it'd be interesting to see. So,
Gonna be good things.
Yeah. And
I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get match of the week, because if we didn't get it this week, that means we're probably not going to get it versus Sinners. I think like the backstory behind ITB Solari, the revenge for World Cup, let's say, is a much better storyline for a match of the week. But BDS and versus KC would be my second pick as well.
Well, I think the match of the week is purely based off of standings at this point. So really, it's kind of just
Then I don't understand why, for example, ITB BDS wasn't also match of the week.
But
It was certainly the best one in terms of place.
this one, you know why? It's French. It's France.
I mean,
just
I
France.
understand it. Yeah.
If I knew the French national anthem, I'd probably just start singing it right now, and everybody would get the message. Like, I think that it's kind of obvious why this match was picked. But all right, so that is going to be it. Before I forget, the European TM World Tour regionals is going to be happening. Evo Pink is going to be and Evo Black is going to be trying again to do really well. Evo Pink's goal is always to get top 8 in each regional, so you can definitely check that out on this Twitch channel. For those who are watching Twitch with us right now, or those who are on Spotify, come check out our Twitch at twitch.tv/Evo Trackmania, where we will be streaming the journey of both Evo Pink and Black for Saturday and Sunday, and we will be rooting for Deska and Stuffs to make it to the top. And forever, you should be rooting for us because Deska.
Yeah, I think like Shimon is literally the most comparable player to me. We both like the same styles, and our results are very equal. So I'm kind of rooting for him. But looking at the first EU regional and seeing how many good teams were left out because of the registration bug, I wouldn't have high hopes for Evo to get top 8. I think that there's
Really
duos
mad.
like Vulnera, Hydra, for example, that were left out, and other French duos that
Forever
still
is
got a
number
lot to
one
show.
Evo hater.
No. I understand
being
where you're coming
realistic.
from. You're being
Thanks.
realistic, but at the same time, I think you're forgetting the seeds, because the seeds do play an important part. And if it really depends on who took matchmaking seriously in
I mean,
between.
Vulnera is rank 1 right now.
Right. So, but that means at minimum to get to top 8, at least for Evo Pink, they would not meet up with Vulnera at top 8. So
Yeah, sure. But they are more likely to meet up other stronger teams because there are more stronger teams.
of course. I mean, that's the whole point of getting top 8. You have to go through a couple of strong teams.
I think it's possible, but it's way less likely than last one.
And that Mint match was actually was a coin flip. So
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch EU regionals.
So when we played against Mint, which is Razi's team, that was a coin flip, because like we choked 2 of the maps, and it was their map picks, and we actually could have won them, and we just kind of choked at the end. So that's how we ended up losing that one. But I think Evo Pink is still extremely capable of top 8, and we shall see. But also, for those teams who also didn't make it to that last EU regional, which I disagree with this decision, but whatever. If any of those teams that didn't make it get points, their points get doubled for this week, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but it'd be what it be.
It's the only possible solution. Otherwise, you would have to
I would say
cancel the other regional.
I would agree with times and a half maybe, but double, especially if like your team.
They lost one regional, not to their fault. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna be hurt because of that, but the thing is that if those teams played, they would probably be in the top 8 anyways. So the teams that will get rewarded because of that, they would deserve that in the first regional as well. So I think it's the best solution that was possible. It might not be fair to everyone, but well, you cannot make everyone happy. And yeah, I'm just happy to see that Nadio has taken it, because at first they said that it's the players' fault, and then they agreed that it's their fault.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they took at least some steps to make it more balanced.
I mean, that's gonna make this week's regional really important, though, because depending on the seeding, like one team that potentially would be top 8, if they face off very early, then they're not gonna get a lot of points, and all of a sudden only one regional is left for a team that usually could be in top 8, if not for bad seeding potentially.
Yep.
It's possible.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And that is starting on Saturday, so make sure you guys check that out.
Yeah, I just want to quickly mention we're going to have a special guest commentator on this stream for Saturday.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be myself and Quantum Deathcat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And for Sunday, should any of our Evo teams make it to day 2, which we hope, It will be Quantum Deathcat and Jack Donday casting. Because I'm not here on Sunday.
Good.
Yeah.
I will be coaching. So that is why I'm not casting it. So if anybody ever asks, that's why I don't cast our team.
Import took inspiration from me. The belt
Yes,
is ready.
I have my own belt. And my belt's saying stop freaking out, you guys got this. Anyways, so with that being said, there obviously we have Forever here for a reason. We want to kind of find out a little bit more about him. Forever, if I may, you are 19 or 18 or 19?
18 still.
18.
I'm gonna be 19 in May.
So you are an 18-year-old coaching and managing the team for ITB Esports, which is kind of crazy because usually, like, even in the esports world, the average age of like a head coach or manager is oftentimes somewhat older. So, I mean, you're really young. You still have a lot to learn compared to me. I'm old. All right, I got it. But like, how did you end up getting involved with ITB? Kind of give us like a small history how you got involved with ITB and how it led us to this point.
So yeah, if I had to recap the whole story and every team that I've been in since I've joined TM, this podcast would take 3 hours. So I'm just gonna start with TM 2020.
No, but you can do it like a
Nah,
short
I don't even remember
introduction.
all the teams. There was such a shit ton of teams that I don't remember. But I would just start with TM 2020. I was in testing the alpha version of the game. After the game was released, I just kind of felt burned out because the period before in TM2, I was grinding like 8 hours a day. Literally without any breaks, so it was just day-to-day grinding, and I kind of felt burnt out. So at the start of 2020, I didn't really play much of TM, and then in 2021, I got back with my friend OT, who might be watching. I don't know. If he is, he will say hi to the chat. But we decided to form a team together called Tauro. That's kind of how it steamrolled. I used a lot of my connections. We got Mime on board, Rotaker, any other good players, Erizal, Raysta. We just had a really good team, but the thing with us was that we were not really available to play team comps at all. That was until the Exalted ROM merge in late 2021 as well. So we only played one team comp really, but that's kind of the structure that I personally preferred, just having individual personas over a team. And I thought that this is the way to go for the teams. And I guess that was kind of a new approach in TM, excluding TMGL and TMCL. And I guess that's why it works so well. We got very good solo people. And of course, Mime and TMCL later qualifying the TMGL. Then, well, once Mime qualified, Exalti were not couldn't fulfill the requirements for joining TMGO, so I decided that I have nothing to lose. I was still 17 at the time. That I'm gonna help him out and try to find a team for him. So I left Exalti Tauro and started the search in early January. If I recall correctly, it was around 150 emails to different personas, COOs, esport managers, CEOs, everyone, and around 500 Twitter DMs. So it was around 100 orgs in
He
total.
was counting.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Excel,
I have like a whole Trello with every org listed, and did they respond? If they not, there was a lot of people that helped us out, including Kims or SRK, for example. But yeah, in late April, we contacted ITB and we instantly got a reply that they're very big on TM, and I actually thought about it as well. And that's how we got there. There was, in total, we had around 15 orgs that were interested, and ITB seemed like the most hyped with the project instead of just trying to jump in because there's an opportunity. They saw it as a long term, and that's why we are still here in TMGL. And that's pretty much it. Since then, I've been a manager, and since the new TMWT season, requires a coach. I'm also acting as a coach, but I'm not a coach just on paper. I'm trying to work with the guys to especially improve their communication during rounds.
Yep.
Because despite them being in TMWT circuit, and despite them being much faster than me, I have way more team comp and in general way more experience on giving calls and how to manage calls during rounds. So that's the one of the only things that I can teach them. And I also sometimes look at different strats during matches and then relay them to them to check them out. I think we implemented one strat from it so far, but yeah, the
So
players are doing most of the work. So
that's like honestly like I don't know why, but I'm like very proud of you because like that it takes a lot of effort. And what's really cool, and I now I understand why I feel like maybe you don't feel this way, but I feel like I have this kind of like understanding and somewhat of a connection with you when it comes to this kind of stuff because I have this experience as well, not necessarily on the level of professional Trackmania level, but I mentioned it before last week, and I'll mention it again this time. I was an organizer and the founder of a collegiate esports athletic program at my university, and I got the university to fully fund that and invest about $80,000 initially in the first year to that. And a lot of that required a lot of administration, coaching, shot calling for coaching and everything because we started out with League of Legends, and that's really where I come from, and that's why me and Lime have this connection with League of Legends. It's, everything is connected. But yeah, no, like I understand, and what you did, having to reach out to all those people. I remember being in that exact same position back in the States. Here, I haven't really done that so much in for Evo because we just get people to just fall on our lap and be like, "Yo." I think the only time we actually started hardcore reaching out was for our LAN event in September, and even then, we really didn't. It didn't take us long before we finally got events like what, Chris, within a month or so of just like somebody answering us.
Is it not like 2 weeks?
Yeah, actually, you're right. 2 weeks. We sent out emails, and then within 2 weeks, and we only sent out like 4 or 5 emails. We had a call with somebody in Stockholm, and then now we have our venue in Cologne, which I already leaked, so I don't mind that. We have our venue in Cologne that's happening in September, and like, but that's not easy, and the amount that you had to do is respectable, and I'm very proud because that's really cool.
Yeah, just
Thanks a lot.
a quick reference. I mean, Spammy also said he was like contacting 150 organizations or something last week
Yeah, that's
to find a
true.
TMGL org.
But, okay, here's the difference
That's
though.
so
Spammy is
insane.
an adult. And like Forever, you're an adult as well, but like you're young and not necessarily, and this is why I give you so much props for it, because and I don't mean to disrespect you at all because you are young, because when I did my stuff, I just was older because I went to college late. I was a late bloomer. So for me, when I did all my stuff at my university, it was like I was already like 21, 22.
Yeah, true.
But for you at your age, it's not the stereotypical thing of somebody at your age that somebody would necessarily have the confidence to do, nor the know-how to do it, or just willing to do it. Oftentimes, most people can't even fathom that. So that's why I'm just like, dang. So
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think that all these years I've spent in TM, so many people know me for so many years, and I'm still at high school. Last
Yeah,
year,
that's actually
but
insane. Like
uh,
the first time someone told me how old you are, I was like, huh? What the fuck?
yeah, I think surely we know each other from TM2 already, right? Like 2017,
Yeah.
20. I was with MD, we were with THE at the time. Legendary TTC second theme. Yeah, we should know each other.
Yeah. Good old times.
Yeah.
Very good old times. But yeah,
I wish we could
100
just come back.
like some things yes, but not all of them. Like I'm still trying to, like certain
Okay.
things changed, of course, to the better. Some things
Yeah.
changed to the worst. Like I would not ever. I don't play the old Trackmanias at all. Literally never. Like I mean, why would you? I never played anything but Stadium usually anyway, so whatever. But you would never want to play Trackmania without the fast response anymore.
Yeah,
Just
true.
no.
Yeah, once you get used to it, it's just so easy to forget it in TM2. But yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can kind of give a different perspective on it for somebody who's wanting to kind of get themselves involved with esports org or something like that, or just kind of start their either a team or a community or something like that. For you, like you said, you messaged a lot of teams, and this was my experience. Maybe you had a different experience. For me, making the message wasn't necessarily the hardest part. The hardest part was me actually researching and finding teams, because sometimes you have to like go through to the deepest darkest corners of the internet to like find some of these teams, because not necessarily all these teams are known, but they have money behind them and they just are waiting for their moment to like breach out into certain games and start a presence in some of these games. Do you feel like you had a similar experience or different?
I feel like the hardest to reach out were the bigger orcs.
Yeah.
Excluding some like Navi, for example, where it was very easy. But the thing about most of these big orcs like Face Clan, 100 Thieves, is that most of the people that run any important positions there, they are also known in the gaming. They have 100k follows. It's very hard to gain their attention, and usually they have their DMs blocked.
Yep.
For Face Clan, for
No, that's
example,
true.
I remember I've spent like 3 hours just trying to find an email, making accounts on different websites, to the point where I think I found 3 emails from them, but they still didn't answer, so unlucky.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I mean that's normal though.
that's
like
normal for
yeah,
those.
for
yeah.
most teams, how I worked was usually going on Liquipedia, and there's a organization tab there, and just looking through those people and then researching either their LinkedIn or their details or their Twitter accounts. Kind of reverse engineering this. It wasn't hard, but it took time because you had to come up with the teams yourselves.
Right.
So
No.
I think I'm at this point I can remember every Liquipedia that is non-TM. Like, it's insane. Looking through every region of Dota, every region of League, and then messaging those orgs. It was kind of annoying, not gonna lie, but someone had to do it. If you don't put the work in, you're not gonna get anything.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
even worse. It's even worse now than, because when I was doing it, it was like 2015, 2016, and League was already at the point where the barrier to entry was pretty much too high for any random grassroots person to get into. Other esports were still young, so you could get into it, and like kind of get in with people. But now, especially now, like there's so many high barrier to entries to get in contact with any team, because now esports is its own economy. It's got its own ecosystem. You got a lot of money flowing around. It's very hard to get in. A lot of
Basically, if you don't
teams
have any contacts,
or
direct
following.
contact or following references or whatever, trying to hit those big organizations is just a pain in the ass. And
Yep.
most probably you won't have any answer from them because they're gonna be like, what is this? No, goodbye. It's not for an investment and they don't have anything, so we are not gonna put our money into that. But with the smaller organizations, it's easier. I remember myself when I was working for this website that we had back in the day, trying to get sponsors or trying to get interviews with the team. It was awful because they were all like, you know what, I don't have time for this, or you know what, we can do this but on my own terms, or just simply no response. And that is one thing that also at the same time brings you down because you're really trying to get something and you're really trying to work most of the time for free because it's just a passion that you have, and you get no response. But then there's always, and I'm always a believer that no matter how many doors you knock, there will always someone that will open it up for you. For you, it was ITB that opened the door for Mime, you, and Elcon now. Hopefully, in the future, we will have other organizations, bigger ones, that will open the door and give Trackmania an opportunity. But it's a matter of growing and time.
It's funny because I also like. It's funny because back then, when we were in Euronics Gaming with me, Riolu, and Marius, at some point we decided. I mean, more or less, I decided we are not getting anything from Euronics. Like no hard feelings or anything. Like Trackmania just wasn't worth it. But we kind of, wanted thing. Like back then, I was still competitive, and I still wanted things with Trackmania to like work. So I also contacted not 150 orgs, a little bit less. I actually stopped at 15 because what I did was I only contacted organizations where I thought, yeah, they already have other smaller communities, so they are probably more willing to invest just because of that. Or, I mean, you have certain certain things, so you know that a certain guy, for example, that the CEO of a certain organization that's rather big likes Trackmania, so maybe these kind of things. So I only contacted like 15 orgs.
You have to shoot your shot. That is the thing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the reason why it stopped is we had two organizations that were interested in us. And the one we were in contact with, there may or may not have been a final meeting where a certain guy didn't show up. So yeah, unlucky. Thank you, Riolu, for that. That was a bit... Yeah. Anyway, that was really unfortunate because that would have been
That's
really
a
cool
story.
because they actually wanted they were interested in Trackmania, but they weren't really that interested in the pro player side in general. But they would have done that. But they would have actually wanted to host tournaments and everything like that. So that would have been really cool. But yeah,
This happens.
we fucked it up a little bit.
I think that the thing with the new format, the TMWT, the reformation of it, I think it's a really good step forward for org investment. I can't really say much yet, but I'm in contact with some people, especially orgs from APAC and NA. They have a lot of interest in TM right now. And I think that soon regionals might outgrow TMCO in terms of orgs. It's a bold statement, but right now I think that especially APAC is gonna be really stacked. I don't know still about NA. I know of one more org that is gonna join, but I don't want to say
APAC region
anything.
is gonna be stacked?
I know it's gonna be stacked. I mean stacked in terms of orgs, because again, in terms
orgs,
of players,
okay.
I've said it. It might sound harsh for some people, but I've said it multiple times. Top 2 get to All Stars, and then they get bottom 4 in All Stars. That's how I see it.
For the NA players, yeah.
NA, MEA, and
and these regions,
and APAC.
I'd say the only quote unquote competitive team from any of these regions is maybe Birdie's team, but even then,
I don't think so. I think that they don't stand a chance against EU. While it might sound so cool, we have to be realistic. You don't see those French players often because they are not, for example, streaming like Birdie.
Yeah.
But they still are better, and I think that there's at least like 10, 15 duos in EU at least, outside of TMGO and TMCO, who are better than any other regional duos. Which is harsh, but it's true.
Truth.
Yeah.
Fully agree with that. I mean, it is what it is. It just EU is the main region. The other regions are still, developing. So it just it is what it is. You just can't become a Trackmania pro within like 1 year.
That's true.
That's just not how it goes.
With how stacked EU is, you kind of see the trend that I think Trackmania maxed in EU. I think that's the peak that we can reach. There's no more other big orgs coming in that especially into regionals. Most of them are just smaller orgs. Meanwhile, in other regions, we are booming. We have many new orgs coming in. We have many new players. Those regions are gonna keep catching up to EU. EU has peaked, and I think that give it a few years, and some of the APAC, MEA, NA duos might be on the level of EU duos. Not now, not in next year, not in the next 2 years, but after that, I think it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with those kind of big orgs that you mentioned, they obviously will get also certain opportunities through that. Like the
Yeah.
support that a big organization can give you for that is also it makes a big difference because they can fully focus on the game then potentially.
But also the thing is that with the TMWT format, they can just grab a top 1 duo in said regional, and they pretty much are guaranteed to be on World Cup, which they don't have to perform well. For them, it's just about being there and having at least some of that viewership.
Yeah,
They
true.
they
Yeah,
are well
right.
aware that the teams are not as strong as EU, but you need to remember, for orgs, it's not about who we like, dislike, who is better or worse. You can grab a top 20 EU team, sure, they'll probably better than your top 1 APAC team, but they will not get World Cup just because of how stacked EU is. So orgs are
Yeah.
less likely to invest in those regions.
Yeah, I mean, it's, in the end, organizations are also it's just advertisement. You just want to be seen. You don't necessarily need to perform well, depending on, I mean, the prize money in Trackmania isn't big enough that would, help any org. So it literally is just about being seen.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know who's being seen though? Let's talk about the whores of Trackmania. Evo.
What a nice way to introduce yourself, Import.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I just have to read this because this is so funny. And I'll give some context behind it. And like, first off, disclaimer: we think this is more funny than anything else. We don't really care about this opinion because we think it's just people don't understand who we are or what we do, and that's fine.
We have a copypasta.
Oh yeah, it's the copy pasta now too. It's and I'll read it out for the Spotify peoples. Oh, don't get me started on the Evo thingy. This is something somebody wrote. Lately, Evo looks like the attention whore of the community. Instead of focusing on creating fun and unique things like they used to, they use every possible opportunity. They say yeah, they spelled it wrong, to grab attention by copying others. Something's gone on there that really changed Evo. Yeah,
It's me. I changed EU ever since I joined.
Yeah,
Shorty,
now we go
no.
backwards instead of forwards.
now we go back. Actually, the downfall of Evo started. Forever can attest to this. The downfall of Evo started when I changed how
The
the
Evo Dart
maps.
server.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Evo Dart
Yeah,
server. So
that's the
it's
ultimate
my
downfall.
fault. Yeah, ultimate downfall
Correct.
is the Dirt server.
Pick Evo.
Yeah, honestly, I'm flattered and thank you. I am. We
It's always
are.
those damn Americans ruining
Yeah.
EU.
Yeah, true.
Go back to Call
True.
of Duty or something, I don't know.
No, but okay. So, honest, serious note. The people who watch, I think most of them understand what Evo is. But if you don't, let me explain it to you. We are a community first and foremost. We are a community of a lot of people. We have over 10,000 users in our in-game club, and we have around 5,000 users in our Discord. These are our numbers. This is the reality of it. So yes, we have a lot of people. We are the largest independent, and when we say independent, we are independent of obviously Nadeo, and we're independent of any streamer or team. So we are the largest independent Trackmania community. In our community, we do tons of things. We have a casual team that does casual monthly events. We have a content creation team that does mapping projects, that does various other things. We have a stream team. We have competitive teams. Yes, Evo started out as a full speed team, but we left that identity about the end of mid 2021 is when we really left that whole stigma. It still sticks around with us. People still consider us like full speed team, which is funny. But we branched into the ice community, not because we saw that the ice community was a way we could get more attention, but we branched into the ice community because there were people asking us to help support them and build the ice community up. And we were like, bet, let's do it. There's now a bigger space that we have realized that we can fill, which is LAN events. Trackadia was the first attempt at that, and it was very successful in our eyes. I mean, overall, not the biggest LAN, but it was big enough to get a lot of attention to it. And now we have our second LAN, name pending, that's going to be happening in September in Cologne. And the venue is 3 times the size of Arcadia Hotel. And it's going to be freaking amazing if everything goes according to plan. But the event is greenlighted. It's greenlighted by Nadeo. It's greenlighted by the venue itself. So once we get the name and stuff and a couple marketing materials, we're going to announce that as soon as we can.
I keep on talking. You're definitely not sounding like attention war. No, just keep on talking about how great Evo is.
Again, I don't care that people think we're attention whores. We do a lot of things. I will tease right now. We have a big announcement coming on Monday. Chris, this is your pre-announcement for the announcement. This is the only pre-announcement we do. There is a big announcement happening on Monday that is going to yet again expand Evo. And yeah, but the thing is, it's not that we are actively going to these people. Well, I guess the venue for Cologne, we actively went for them, but they could have said no. Like, we told the venue, hey, we want to have this event, but we can't pay you anything. But here's the numbers for the previous event. And they said, bet, let's do it. I don't know what to say. Evo is not paying anything. We don't make any money. So anybody who joins Evo is joining on their own accord. We do not just like straight up go to people. I mean, we'll invite some people to join Evo, but that's usually because they've already showed interest into us and wanting to join us. So we're big because people are interested. We're passionate gamers. We love what we do, and we do it for free because we love what we do. End of story. End of rant. You guys may speak now. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox.
Thank you.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
The thing is I read in the copy pasta, and I said instead of focusing on creating fun and unique things like they used to, I mean, podcast is a unique thing, kind of. Backboard servers was a unique thing. They're creating their competition, the casual teams, the content creation. I don't get it. I don't get that. And then they use every possible opportunity to grab attention by copying others. Then who are we copying? Like, if you're gonna make a statement like this, drop the names, drop the stuff that we're copying.
I know what they were talking about. So this was from a certain mapping community, and their claim was that it's really weird. We released a Evo Advent Calendar campaign.
Yes.
That campaign was mini maps, short maps. Yes. 15 to 20 seconds. And apparently they just did not understand this. And they were saying that we were trying to copy CCC or whatever the heck it is, their Christmas, the TMA / whatever group that does
TMX.
The Christmas calendar.
TMX.
Yeah, TMX. Yeah, TMX thing, and say that we were trying to copy them with their thing. And it was like, yeah, I could see that, but we didn't. We just did it our own way, and we did mini maps because we wanted to do mini maps. And it wasn't for us to get. We did it because we just wanted to have something to play. Like we did it because we just wanted to do it. It wasn't like anything like, oh my gosh, so these people are doing this. So like, if we do this, then our viewership will go up by 5% and like blah, blah, blah. Like, no,
I mean, if people didn't get the memo, we launched a short and mini server right after. So
Yes.
that the Evo Advent calendar was sort of a teaser for that. And nobody got that, but
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that was one of the ideas
I'm
behind
one.
it.
And yes, the best map in that campaign was in der Weihnachtsbäckerei. Thank you. It was
Weihnachtsbäckerei.
yes.
We're not gonna start singing now.
Yeah, in the Weihnachtsbäckerei. Okay. But yeah.
But yeah, it's like the thing same by copying others or something gone on that changed Evo, I believe. I mean, I've been looking up to Evo since I started playing Trackmania, which I started playing in 2020. No, I don't know. I don't remember. The thing is that I've been looking at the Evo guys from as an outsider and now as an insider. The things haven't really changed more than the things are getting better now, and that the events are way better, bigger, and with more people, and you have more opportunities and etc. So I don't know. I don't really get the copy pasta. Go eat something sweet because you need something sweet in your life. Because after saying that, I can see how bitter you are. However, grow that copy
Yeah.
pasta. And
No,
if you
there's-
have any issue, go to my DMs.
there's a
Oh.
different side that somebody may have an opinion on, and forever.
I knew it. I knew it. I'll just start with a quick
we do a
intro,
poll if
What
introduction.
you
to the
said is
concept.
perfectly fine, and I don't think anybody's gonna hate you for it. So
No worries. I know, and not like I care if anyone hates me. Don't worry. I have grown balls. I can handle it. No worry. But
Yeah, you're 18 now, not 17 anymore.
Yeah.
exactly.
You're a man.
I'm not a kid anymore. But I wanted to start first of all. So first encounter I had with Evo, it was when you guys bought out the SM full speed beginner server on TM2, right?
Yes.
That was circa 2018. And I also remember playing a match against Evo back when it was called Evolution TM, which was a long time ago. You guys got wrecked, so unlucky. But back then, the Evo was more of a normal team because they're
Right.
a structure that that we now call as a community or of just an association of people who share the same interest didn't really exist back then in TM2. In TM2, it was really just the competitive scene, and the competitive scene held up all the main parts of the game. There was no interest in such communities. There's like 50 people on the top servers. That was it. Now it's the roles have changed. The casual play is much more important, and Evo adapted. And
Yep.
if someone thinks that that is an issue, sure, we can think that. I think it's a good thing. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the bigger communities and the groups with a lot of people, but it's not like I'm being negative. It's just how I
No.
am.
It's your preference, yeah.
Even in real life, like I don't enjoy any big parties and stuff. I just value the individual relations more over having a huge group of community that you influence. I think that's perfectly fine to have such group as well. I don't see the issue. If I feel like writing such things is seeking for attention more than actually the things that were described. That's how I feel about this.
I mean, we are the ones talking about it.
I mean,
giving attention to it.
I'm
to be
giving it
fair.
attention because I
not-
think it's funny, but
I'm not sure which certain TMA which
It wasn't
server
TMA.
it was. It wasn't TMA. Yeah, okay.
No.
I just
I won't
I
say
will
it.
also
you're always gonna have haters either way. Like
Maybe
who cares?
he
Like,
is or
there was
they
always-
because
I will
don't know
also
who it
preface
was.
that a
They're
lot of
projecting.
I don't think it was exactly these people. I'm not going to name names, but some of the group that this came from have a lot of former Evo individuals. If you see your way out of Evo, like if we remove you from Evo, you've had to only do two things. One is ghost us, and 2 is be disrespectful to those around you.
Or dismiss anything that import says.
Yes.
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 I happily agree with this. It's honestly not easy with import, really.
Yes.
Man's an admin,
Power
lives
hungry.
lives in Germany and already has the mustache. What else do you need?
I mean, no. But yeah, no. For me, I do way too many things that I just don't pay attention to half the stuff. But like, all we ask for anybody who is with us, because we're very lax with our rules, I feel like, compared to most teams, is don't be a dick and have fun. And at least show your face. Like, you join a team and then you want to ghost us. Like, yeah, you're not going to be on the team anymore. Being a part of the team means you got to be active. Some people will join our team to have our tag, which I find really weird. And yeah, and then they just kind of ghost us after that. So it's kind of like, well, bye.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
But at this point, Evo is more than just a community. It's a brand among TM.
Yep.
And as long as you guys are non-profit, I don't see what does attention give you. I don't understand the issue at all. I think there's no issue. In fact, I think it's just that someone isn't happy, that for them it's not working out. I wouldn't even dramatize it. It's just one opinion that is not really clever.
The main reason why I wanted to bring this up is not because of this group. I honestly could care less. I found it funny and flattering that people the bigger issue, because it's not something I haven't heard before, is goes more along the line of, what does Evo actually do? What are we even? Also, one caster on the regionals said that we have like 15 teams for World Tour, and we're like, huh? We only have, technically we have 3.
We only have 14. What?
Yeah, we only have 14. No. But like, technically we only have 3 duos. 1 in the NA and 2 in EU, but we're about to go down to just 2 because our NA duo doesn't have the time. So really, we only have 2 duos, and that is nothing compared to some of these teams who like Air from freaking NA have like 6 duos or whatever, like, or some of these EU teams that have like 3 or 4 duos, and we're just getting pointed out because we have a lot of people. Now, this year, we're kind of going to be proving them right with how many competitions we're going to be involved in this year. That are not Evo. Last year we focused on Evo competitions and like what Evo was like producing for online events. This year it's completely different. Our main focus is going to be on this LAN event that we're planning in September, and then we're going to be more participatory is the word, I'm guessing. Participatory in events that other people are holding, and then if they want, we'll help them out if they all but ask, and it's within our realm of ability. But we're also not going to overextend ourselves, because we did that last year and we hated it. So yeah, that's why I brought up this topic. It's because it's like, if you think that we are just here to get attention, I mean, in a way, sure, because we are a brand.
Attention.
I mean, we get attention, but also, I'm sorry, but just like, we are a long-standing name in Trackmania. We adapted to the TM2020 format. We have the most popular servers in the game, like public servers, and we do a lot of content. Sorry, not sorry. And you may see our name tags in Cup of the Day a lot. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
But I'm not.
Especially on Evo maps. Evo knows every map, every ice map. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I kind of feel like there's a connection between you and Tona. I'm gonna have to investigate that though.
Oh.
Don't forget the full speed maps, the dirt maps, the tech maps, the mixed maps, the NASCAR, Speed Fun, backwards maps. We know all of them.
All the maps.
I mean,
Yes, we know all the maps.
Yeah.
However, why do you think I finally joined Evo? I've always pulled the strings behind the back.
Yeah, I understand you don't want to be second anymore, yeah.
Yeah, that actually sucks, to be honest.
He's still our man Shorty has still not recovered from that.
I am. I'm definitely over that. But holy shit, that like those 3.5 years, they were rough. They were
Yeah,
very,
I think-
very rough.
I think there was a period where Shorty for a year didn't win a single TTC and got second like 6 times.
Forever. It's 3.5 years. Literally, the first TTC I got second place in was the 3rd edition, and then the second place was the one against Raysons in TTC edition 9, which was like 1/100th of a second. And since then, I've managed to get second 10 more times. Always. It just never happened. Like 3.5 years, I had to wait to finally win this competition. It's horrible.
I have a very good meme, but I'll just have to find it and I'll post
You know,
it in chat.
just because people are gonna always assume that I'm just crumbling under pressure. Like that wasn't even the case. Like out of like 12 or 13 finals I played, I think I only like crashed twice. And other than that, that's just always good rounds. Like once I fucking drove world record and I lost because the other guy also drove world record. Just
What can you do?
what can you do? Yeah, what can you do? It just happens.
Yep. It's one of those things. Sorry, I got distracted because we got a short list of top 8 seeds for coming into the World Tour this weekend, and Evo Pink is going to be seed 4. So for right now, assuming no major changes, but there's still time before those seeds are locked in. But right now, interesting. Anyways, yeah. Evo, we do too much and we're whores of the community. Hi.
Amazing. I actually
Yes.
have a question for Forever.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I mean, obviously now we talked a bit before, right? And
Yeah.
you said that you're still, even though you won the match against Big now, you're still not really happy about the performance. Like that, I mean, not unhappy, but that they can play and perform better. Since last week we talked with Spam and that him having a mental coach hugely helped him. What is your opinion on that? With like having a mental coach
I
potentially?
mean, it's not potentially. It's at this point, it's kind of confirmed that we're gonna have a mental coach on stage 2 already. This is a topic that I've mentioned a few times already with an
the
ITB.
chat said. Oh no, well.
So yeah, this will happen, and I think for us, the main issue, the main thing that is stopping us from being a top 3, top 4 team, or even a top 2 team, is just mentality. And if we are in a lead, and like let's say a 2-0 lead, we just feel too comfortable. There's literally we just feel we just relax, and then we start throwing rounds. This is the same that happened versus BDS. This is the same that happened versus Big. We just started throwing our maps, like for example Slippy Slides, where we are insane, and all of a sudden we lose it. I'm trying to, for the time being, I'm just trying to work with the guys to get that mentality out, but definitely a mental coach would help that. For now, I have to be enough.
So it's been fun, but it is already at an hour and a half, and I'm being told by production in DMs that hurry up and get to Q&A with chat. So this is the time where if anybody has any questions for Forever, for us, for anything, please make it somewhat serious. Please don't do the troll thing.
The
And now that I asked
mustache
that, now they're going to
thing.
troll. But Dirt of the Week when? Honestly, as much as I would love to do Dirt of the Week, I would need somebody to pick it up from where me and Chris left off, because Chris can even tell you it was very difficult to do 20 weeks straight. If we did it, it would be a lot shorter. And it was just very taxing throughout the week, because the process is get new mapper every week and have a brand new map unreleased, try to coordinate that with them, try to make sure they have enough time to get it done. And there was even at least 1 or 2 weeks where we really struggled in getting that done. and it was just a lot of stress for. I mean, I think overall, Dirt Weekly was probably one of our more successful events, but just in the end results, it just can't be done by us two when we're doing 15 other bajillion things. We have a collaboration that we're doing with one organization. We're doing our LAN event, which is going to take up almost 90% of our team resources, especially in the summer. When planning gets down to the nitty gritty, we have our podcast that we do. We have the cast that we do for regionals. I meant, like, there's so many freaking things, and I was very heavily involved with the Dirt Invitational, and I just don't have the time. So if somebody wants to help pick that up, DM me. Yeah, that is that question. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions.
He's like asking when is
Any
Fern
leaks
making a
on LAN?
comeback?
I just gave the leaks, bro. I can give you the dates. This is the dates that we have set on today. Because Nadeo finally released their wildcard dates.
Released or just told the EU? That's a difference. If they released, I have to
They
take a look.
They updated their rulebook, so the
Okay.
rulebook is updated, and the wildcard dates are immediately after All Stars, and the wildcard starts on the 9th, I believe, of September. Or what is this even?
I'm opening the same just to help
It's
you
round
out.
of whatever round of 256 is on the 9th of September.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's there.
wildcard is like they
9
want
and
to have
2.
like an open qualifier for World Cup.
Right. Okay, there we go. So yeah, they have an open qualifier, and then they go to Swiss bracket stages for the next 2 weeks, and those are only on Sundays at 5. And then they have another quali on the, I don't know, man. It's a hot mess. But finally got the dates. We're going to be shooting for, and pretty much are mostly confirmed at this point, it's going to be the 22nd to the 24th of September in Cologne. It is going to be with, I'll just tell the LAN already because it's already greenlit. It's going to be at Experion is the LAN. You can check them out at experion.gg. The name of the event is not going to be Trackadia. I don't have the name yet, but we have some pretty exciting stuff in that pipeline. And yeah, we're already starting planning. We already got a massive board of like a mind map of like all the things that we have to do and how many people we have to involve. So we're going to be eventually recruiting. Well, we are kind of recruiting in a way of people who are interested in helping out in that regard. And outside of that, we can't pay anybody. So if you're helping free. We're not getting paid. Well, we don't even think we're getting hotel. Like that's how like minimal we're getting paid. But the entire event is paid for, and they're giving us a crap ton of resources for free. So I can't really complain. And yeah, it's going to be if it turns out like I think it's going to be, Trackadia cannot hold a candle to this event. That is your answer. So 22nd to 24th of September in Cologne at Experion. And the name will be decided TM. And then once the name is decided.
Easy. It's so easy getting you to split.
It is. Well, I mean, at this point, I've been wanting to talk about it for so
can
long.
you leak this?
Yeah,
sure, let's leak this.
maybe that guy
No,
was
the
correct
import
with
goes
the
like,
attention thingy.
I'm not sure if I can
Well,
leak
it's
this.
easier-
So what
it's
I can
easier-
tell you is, and
Yeah,
then
well,
leak everything.
I'm going to be honest. It's easier to like talk about it in a podcast because I don't want to make a major announcement like on Twitter or anything like that because we don't have all the details. It's easier to just like kind of give you the details as they come. Like, fight me, okay? Look, I don't mind talking about things because it's not like we're under any type of NDA. Literally, I got the answer today from freaking Nadeo about their dates. So that's literally what we've been waiting on to like announce the venue and what dates it's going to be at. We just don't know the name, and we have to get double confirmation of the sponsor, but if it's assuming that it is the sponsor, then it's going to be huge. But yeah, I mean, more details are coming. Like I said it last week too. I said I will release more details as I'm able to. So I'm not leaking. Fight me, Lime.
No, I won't fight you. 1v1 at Trackadia V2. That's the name for now.
Yeah, it's Project V2. It's Project Trackadia V2 is right now is the working name, but it will eventually have a name. But yeah, that's all I can announce. And if I don't say it now, Forever's gonna fight me. So Forever, you and ITB are duly invited to this event. And if you would like to help me, Forever, in like finding some resources from the TMGL side, I would be gladly taking of such.
I can help after my final exams, which are in May.
Hoot.
Yeah, if I pass
'cause-
them, of course. If not, I'm in the mud. But
Nice.
the trial ones I've passed, so we should be good.
Good. And everybody and if we get let's make a goal. If we can get 1,000 here, this is me whoring out. If we can get oh man, we're only 5 followers away from 1,000 followers on our Twitch stream. Sheesh, bro. People are unfollowing right now.
On my way to unfold.
I was gonna make it like a challenge. Like, do I keep my mustache at the event or not? Like, do I keep
1,000
growing it till
followers
the
on our
event?
Twitter.
Do what?
If we get 1,000 followers on our Twitter within a month, you'll keep it.
Yeah, if we get 1,000 followers before what, the end of March is what we'll say. Yeah, if we get 1,000 followers on our Twitter Twitter before the end of March, I will keep the stash and it will be Stashport at the event. There, promise.
How many followers do the Twitter account has?
And if we can make my Twitch 500 followers, then I will.
Come
I will
on.
Shameless
grow a
plug.
beard.
Shameless plug.
Hey, not, don't bring in your personal channel again.
Really, Matt? No, I'm teasing. I don't care.
I said on my
I
Twitch
give up
playlist,
on that.
if I get 100 subs, I will make a Trackmania song.
Ah, okay.
Aha.
Aha. Yeah. Yo,
If I'm
don't
gonna
get me
hit-
started on that
Nah.
Evo thingy, bro.
Listen, if I'm gonna hit 1,000 followers, I'm gonna do nothing.
Nice.
Oh,
Dang,
my
bro.
God.
That's how kind I am.
Sheesh.
Finally, no more Forever streams. Hell yeah.
No worries. I'm already cooking on Evo Dirt. No worries.
Yeah. Man, well, honestly, it's been fun. It's been real. Forever, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I really do have a deep amount of respect for what you do, and I think what you do, the things that you have done so far, for yourself, for your team, for Trackmania in general, I think is very respectable. That is why I tolerate you talking crap about me.
Tolerate. You have to tolerate it. Unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky, but no, I respect it, and like I think it's good to have somebody who doesn't necessarily see the same things same way you do. But I think in a lot of other things we do have a lot of a similar opinion on, and that's why I like having that kind of like
those
colleague
9 months
type of-
in TMGO really change your perspective on Trackmania. I'm not really into the semi-pro scene anymore. I don't have to be. That's like the benefit of all of this, that I don't have to follow the semi-pro scene because it's not of my interest, and it doesn't have anything to do with TMGO. So it gets a bit of time off because normally when I was still driving and as a semi-pro, you'd had to follow everything, and it was, to be honest, I think that following the scene once you're a semi-pro, the scene is so spread that it's much harder to follow once you're playing than you're actually managing.
Yeah.
Once you have a lineup, you focus on those two people. Will Forever wear a mustache in the Trackadia V2? No.
Maybe if he gets 1,000 followers.
No, I told you I'm doing nothing. Maybe a special 2 hours of skipping Evo Dirt Maps stream. That's the best I can do.
Honestly, and this time I will out myself. This time I won't confuse Mime and Forever at Trackadia.
Don't remind me.
How did you...
He's like, so I will just tell the story. I'm sitting behind Mime in the main room in Trackadia,
Oh,
and he's
no.
like, "Yo, Mime, are you up for an interview?" And I thought that he's talking to Mime, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, "Why would I be for an interview?"
Yeah.
Well, you're a TMGO player.
No, he asked you because he needed your approval as manager.
Yeah.
Definitely that
Oh
was
my
it.
god.
It's
Nah, yeah,
pain.
definitely.
I wasn't even thinking about that situation. I was thinking about the situation where you guys
There's
were sitting,
another.
the VIP room where Mime had like lost or something, or like
Oh yeah.
yeah. I walked into the VIP room and I was like, Mime, what was that? And I'm looking directly at you, Forever, and you're just like, I don't know what happened, man. And you're like, I know. No, I'm looking back up. I was like, man, he's probably like, what a
Bro,
freaking moron, man.
after you left that VIP room, we were laughing for like 15 minutes straight.
Oh no!
Because Mike was aware, and we were just playing along at this point.
I guess I appreciate the fact that you guys played along. Well, holy crap, you could have just been like, import.
Yeah,
You
you're lucky,
idiot, bro.
You're lucky that Masa didn't hear it. He was on the next table. He would be doomed forever on his stream.
Bro. He'd probably be like, and then the host of Trackadia can't even get the pro player names right. Why the heck is he on the stream?
But the
Look,
best picture that the best thing is that I didn't even have a ITB jersey this day. I don't know how did you even make this out. Elcon, Lars, and Mime had ITB merch, and I just had a plain North Face T-shirt.
well, the first day I saw you, I was like, are you guys Forever and Mime? And you guys were, oh, this is my favorite. Actually, this is my favorite story, and I tell it all the time. Is that what first day Trackadia right before it starts? I walk into this elevator and I see two guys that I'm like, I think that's Mime and Forever. I just don't know who is who. And I was like, are you guys Mime and Forever? And you guys are like, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, hey, I'm Import. And you both are like, in the lowest, like most disappointed tone you guys could ever make. You both are like, we know. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
This is the kind of Polish shit talk that I just enjoy so much. People hate me for it, but I just enjoy shit talking this way. I'm sorry. That's just how I.
It's okay, but it was so funny because I forget who was walking in with me, but we were just both in the elevator. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Mime and Forever. Like, hey guys, I'm Import. And you guys are like, we know. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. But yes, now we get to make more memories.
Yeah,
it was great. All right, well, we need to wrap it up.
If that happens next Trackadia, I'm just gonna recite the whole pasta.
Well, now
about Evo.
It's
okay.
You
honestly
can make it harder on him by wearing a jersey with the name Mime on the back.
No, here's what you do. We go to the event, and then you be like, "Yes, I am Mime. I've been Mime the entire time."
No, I'm gonna ask the ITB guys to give me a jersey with Mime's name. I'm just gonna wear that.
Well, this time I'm so embarrassed by it that I will not forget this time. Honestly, Trackadia literally was like my real, actual time to give a crap about the pro scene type of deal, because Trackadia was more just like a community thing for me at that point. And that's why, like, if you notice in my interviews and everything, it's very community focused rather than like pro player focused. But yeah, this time it won't be different because now I'm in the know. All right. So, Lime Shorty, start with Shorty first because I always start with Lime. Shorty, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to say I also know you, Import.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna like once we see each other for the first time, I have to try and remember. I'm also gonna be like, yeah, I know.
I'm gonna get that now. Probably it's like be like, "Hi, I'm Import." They're like, "We know."
Yeah, I want that everyone that meets Import is gonna be like that now.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
so destroyed.
Maybe
I didn't even know you thought about that this way. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. For us,
It
it's
just sounded like you
natural.
guys were so disappointed. Like I even like had to I don't know.
No,
It was
you need
it
to
was so
remember,
funny.
you're American. You smile on the street all the time. We are from Poland. We just fucking look at each other and like, we are in the mud. Yes. That's literally
know
all the
that
discussion that we have in Poland. Oh, brother.
Maybe that's why people look at me in the
Funny
street.
thing is, then you get to know me, and then I have the Germans being like, "Aaron, you're way too cold, and you're way too brutally honest." Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
If I were to be honest, I would be already kicked off out ITB probably. If I
Fair.
had to
If
say
I were-
everything, yeah.
If I were honest, you wouldn't see me in the Trackmania community. Lime, anything else you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay. And then forever, any final thoughts?
I will start a petition to fix the Evo Dirt server.
Good luck on that one. It's not happening. Anyways, you guys have a good rest of your evening. As a final thing, make sure you are paying attention on Monday, as we are going to have a very big announcement to just prove how much attention whores we really are. So yeah, make sure you are keeping an eye out on Monday, because did I say Wednesday? I meant Monday. Yeah, so that is going to be it for the stream. We will be back again next week. It will just be us three, Import, Lime, and Shorty. And then in March, we will have a very special guest from Nadeo, I believe. So
That's actually really hype.
yeah, and it's really hype.
For that
Yeah,
one.
the chances for this are 50-50. Import wants, but Nideo doesn't want to.
It's actually Nadeo approached us and said if they could come on. So
It's gonna be a fight.
yeah,
Max,
it's. I mean, it might. I don't know. We were trash talking about Cup of the Day leaking too much. Anyways, we are gonna get off now. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and take care and have fun.